Hello. About to do week 4 discussion one question. Talking about leasing a vehicle. The question states, when leasing a vehicle, it is a good idea to have the salesperson calculate the cost of buying the same car. In that way, it is easier to ensure that leasing does not have hidden costs. Share your view on this statement. Be sure to support your statement with literature or factual examples. I actually, when starting this class, I also started reading a book through the author Dave Ramsey. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of him. And I'm reading the book called The Total Money Makeover. In that book, he talks about leasing. He's really against it. I don't know too much about it, but he talks about how the law does not require lenders to disclose all the information, because they argue that when you lease a car, you're merely just renting it. Therefore, they're not legally obligated to you show the one leasing the vehicle the actual effective interest rate. Straight from the book, it says the Federal Trade Commission requires a truth in lending statement when you buy a car or get a mortgage, but not on a lease. So you do not know what you're paying unless you're very good with a calculator. Some of the advantages of leasing a car is that you do not need a significant down payment. You can return the car to the car dealer at the end of the lease period, so you don't need to worry about finding a buyer for the car whenever you're looking to sell. Another perk is also being that you generally drive relatively new cars, so that is good. Hopefully, don't have a lot of mechanical issues because they're new cars. However, there are a lot of disadvantages that I've read in the text, some being that since you do not own the car, you do not have, or you will not build any equity in leasing it and investing in the car. You build no equity even though the car has value because you don't own it. You are also responsible for the maintenance costs, repairing the car if something happens to it. That's not the dealer's responsibility. And the book also talks about how it's important to keep in mind that you'll be charged for any damages the car sustains through the leasing period. So if you break it, you buy it, even though you do not really own the car. It's in our textbook. It talks a lot about leasing a car in pages 255 through 257. The textbook suggests that if anyone is serious in considering leasing, to make sure that you read and understand the entire lease agreement, because some of the dealers may impose additional charges for leasing, such as charging for driving more than the maximum miles allowed. Me personally, I don't really think I would ever look to lease a vehicle. I like knowing that I own something. I like knowing that I own my vehicles and that I can do whatever I want with them, and I don't have a dealer who tells me what I can do and cannot do with my car. So I would never look to do that. But if somebody is, it's definitely a good idea to have a salesperson calculate the costs, because leasing vehicle can be tricky, and you might end up paying a lot more than if you just decided to buy the vehicle. So it's really important to do your research. That's my input on the topic of discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed.